Hi, everybody. It's Tom Bullington here with InMotion Realty and Hastings Happenings. And once again, I'm joined by April Thermos of M&M Mortgage. April, how you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me back.
So we both work with people that are looking to purchase a home. Obviously, I'm on the real estate side, but you're in the lending side. Most people need to go and get a mortgage to purchase a home. And there's a thing called pre-approval. And some people have questions about this. I get a lot of questions about, well, what's it mean to be pre-approved? What's it mean to have a letter? Do I actually need to have a letter from a lender in order to qualify? If have an offer, do I actually need a letter from my lender before I can have my offer accepted? The answer is yes.
Yep.
um, so, April, you're here today to talk about kind of the process to get pre-approved and what people need to know about that.
Yeah. So most of the time when a buyer wants to go and start shopping for homes, they're going to reach out to a realtor right away. And that's not the first step, actually. The first step, you need to reach out to a lender first, or else you might be wasting the realtor's time if you're not pre-approved and can actually buy a house, right?
Yeah,
So, when you get pre-approved, you're going to reach out to a lender first. We're going to have you complete an application. That's going to ask you for your employment information, your income, your residence history, um, some other government stuff, government monitoring stuff, like if you've had any foreclosures, if you have any bankruptcies, because that can impact what type of loan you qualify for. So you're going to complete your application. We're going to pull your credit. We're going to scrub your credit, see if there's anything that we need to address. That looks good. We're going to get your income documents, your assets, so bank statements, your pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns. We might ask for other documents depending upon what we discover when we get everything else. And then when we have that, we're going to analyze everything to determine what type of loan a product works best for your situation.
right.
And so there's conventional, the government loans, so FHA, VA, USDA. Um, Conventional loans, they're a little bit more stricter guidelines. Government loans are a little bit more lenient. You can have a higher debt to income ratio, a little bit lower credit scores, stuff like that. So then
Mhm.
once we have that documentation, at that point, if everything looks good, that's when we're going to get your pre-approval letter. And then you can give your pre-approval letter to your realtor.
Perfect.
And then you can start shopping for homes.
Great. Great. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I don't take offense at that the realtor is not the first person you should call because he or she is not the first person you should call. You can certainly have homes that you're interested in. You can certainly do some research,
Or
but
absolutely. I mean, you're gonna, most people are just super excited to stop or to start the process of
oh
home
yeah,
shopping. And so when they look online, they see this beautiful home they want. Of course, they're gonna see the who the listing agent is and think, well, I gotta reach out to them first, which you gotta kind of pull back the reins a little bit.
mhm,
Think, okay, what do I actually have to do first in order to talk to this realtor and um, start the process to do
right.
what I have to do to get myself in a position to buy this property.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always liken it to, the show Property Brothers on HGTV, where the first house they go out to is a house that just is way out of their price range, right? And they look at it and they're like, wow, it's got everything I could ever want and more. It has the kitchen's perfect, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the basement. It's perfect. It has a sport court out back. It has a pool. It has da da da. Oh, it's only $1.3 million. And the
Right,
property brothers go, well, we showed you this because A, you're not going to get this because you can't afford it, and B, we just wanted to show you kind of what the top of the range is. And they always do this, just kind of like pull the rug out from under people. What I try to do is avoid that scenario entirely. I like to just say, okay, well, what's your price range? What are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
a $3,000 mortgage payment every month? No. Okay, well, or whatever it might be. Do you have, my first question with anyone, a first time home buyer or otherwise, a new client, do you have a range? What's your range of what you can afford from a
Mm-hmm.
from a lender? I like working with lenders. I work with a variety of lenders because you are the um, necessary first step, but you're also that reality check for them,
Right,
because things have changed maybe since the last time they bought a house was maybe 10 years ago. The
right.
process has changed.
Even the last 2 years,
Right,
because right now you probably can't afford the house that you wanted 2 years ago because the interest rates have tripled.
right.
So, I mean, that will impact significantly what type of homes you can afford. And yeah, that's unfortunately kind of what we do in the beginning is bring them back down to reality.
Yep,
You know, uh, they have this dream home, this immaculate home that may cost, upwards of $500,000 or more, and you tack on a 7% interest rate or 7.5 or 6, that's going to, really put into perspective what type of payment that's going to be. And not
yes.
only that, think about the county taxes, those are increasing as well. And so
Mhm.
once I show a client, okay, this is going to be the price if you want this type of house, then they kind of reel back, like, oh, okay, so that's not the type of properties we're supposed to be looking at. So,
Right.
no, it's not. So, and that's where, I mean, kind of when you would come in and you say, okay, well, here are some properties right here, and this is what they're going for in this neighborhood,
Mhm.
and what the type of property it is, whether it's single family, townhome, condo and stuff,
Yep,
and condos of, you're going to have HOA dues, so or homeowners association dues. So that's another whole, you know,
exactly.
financial obligation that you're going to have as well. So there's a lot to owning a home buying that you got to be aware of. It's not
Definitely.
just your mortgage payment that you have to budget for too.
Right, right. Well, the cost of owning something versus renting something, you don't have the landlord anymore.
Right.
You don't have the property manager anymore. It's you. You are the
Right.
property
Well,
manager.
it does. You do have its benefits, right? Though, I mean,
Yes.
you got more control over your space. You can decorate, renovate however you want.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not trying to discourage people from buying homes.
yes, yes.
Let me clarify that right
That's
now.
not what we're trying to do.
Because otherwise, why are we, but it's just a reality check. I think this is
Yep,
just, it's good to have a
exactly.
reality check of, yes, there are expenses that you don't have when you are renting.
Hmm.
However, you can do a heck of a lot more to your property. You can paint it, you can decorate it, you can knock down walls if that's appropriate, whatever it might be that you could not do in a rental. So
Right.
definitely, and real estate, as you know, is always a good investment.
Always. Yes. Yep.
Not to
Each
discourage
payment,
people from buying.
right. Each payment you make, you are, building equity in your home. Your principal goes down and your equity increases.
Mhm.
So over time, you're just building kind of a nest egg for yourself as time goes on. So it's definitely a wise thing to invest in is real estate. Absolutely.
And especially if you are looking to buy another home in maybe 5, 10, 20 years, the equity that you build up in paying off your home now is definitely going to pay benefits later on down the road when you'd like to buy another house, maybe a bigger house. Maybe your family is getting bigger, or you have more needs for a larger garage, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it might be, or you just like to have a nice study, or a larger porch or something like that. If you're already have enough equity in your current home, the next home is, it could be even more affordable than
Yeah,
the current home you're in.
right. Because with that equity, you can use for your down payment,
That's right.
you know.
That's right.
Um, and there's other benefits as well. The potential tax advantages.
Yes.
I'm not a CPA, so
Yep.
consult your accountant before doing this, but your mortgage interest you can deduct from your income when you file your income taxes,
That's right.
and I believe also your property taxes as well.
Mhm.
But again, consult with your CPA before you do that.
That's,
Can't do that for rent. So
no, no,
rent it's money that just disappears.
disappears. You're paying someone else's mortgage.
Exactly. Yep.
Right?
Rent prices are going up and up.
It's ex-
So I read somewhere that the median national asking price for rent uh, in the nation, so not necessarily Minnesota, but the nation, uh, in May of 2022, it surpassed $2,000 a month.
yes.
That's a big number. So I think if you're able to afford a $2,000 rent payment every month, chances are you'd be able to afford a mortgage. And
On a pretty nice house.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um, and again, it might not be like the house that you see in the magazine.
Right.
Again, we bring you back down to reality and say, with this payment that you want.